Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of FYI. I'm Matthew White and we are right here on the Real Estate Channel. My guest today in the studio is from McDonald Realty, Patricia Houlihan. Patricia, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
I want to start off by asking you, and I'm sure you probably get asked this a lot, but you had a very successful career as an environmental lawyer. Why the change, and tell us a bit about the lawyer aspect of things.
Well, it definitely wasn't because I didn't like my job. I love practicing environmental law. Great job, a lot of fun, but I've always wanted to be a realtor. My father was a realtor, had his own real estate company. My grandfather had his own real estate company. I've been doing this since I was about 10 years old. I think my first open house was probably when I was 12. And when I was practicing law, people called me the real estate evangelist. Because no matter who was looking or selling, I was always giving them hints, helping them get into the market, telling them they should get into the market. It's just something I've always loved, and it's been a hobby for 40 years.
So what capacity could a 10 or a 12-year-old have in the real estate industry? Probably a little light, early to get your license, I suppose.
Well, no, my dad would do open houses, and of course
Right.
It was fairly safe then, and he'd usually have tied up the whole neighborhood, so we'd have a few open houses on the street, and I would be helping him and helping him do his paperwork, helping him with the open houses. My mom and my brothers and sisters and I would hand out flyers. I mean, it was a family affair. So.
Now, since you've started in the real estate industry, you've been one of the top realtors in the Lower Mainland and a Medallion Club member. What's the secret? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think the market doesn't hurt. It's hard not to do well when the market's this fantastic, as long as you love it and you know what you're doing. And
Right.
For me, fortunately, there was literally no learning curve. I'd done this with my father, and I had it as a hobby for years, so I've always kept up to date on the market, and I have bought and sold real estate myself throughout my legal career. So I didn't really have much to learn. I walked into a fantastic market, and it's something I really love, and I think that makes a huge difference.
Now, you were born in Vancouver. Do you think that maybe gives you an edge in your work?
Yeah, I think that also helps. I mean, we have a team of 4, and 3 of us were born in Vancouver. So we literally can cover any neighborhood in the Lower Mainland and have one of us that has probably lived in or also maybe owned
Right.
a home in that neighborhood. So we can assist sellers. We know the neighborhoods very well. We can assist buyers even if their agents don't know the neighborhoods. So I think it really helps a lot.
And I think that's pretty important, I guess, to establish what neighborhood you want in that area.
Exactly.
You said there's 4 people on the team, 3 are from here. Tell us a little bit about the 4th.
The 4th is the amazing Jenny Hung. She's multilingual, and she runs the office and assists us with, she's a licensed realtor as well, of course, so she works with clients that speak Chinese languages. So she's very good at, she can read, write, speak. She was born out of the country and came here about 10 years ago and did her university here, and now she's part of the team.
Now, you have a team of 4 realtors. It sounds like quite a few. Do you sort of are you the head of the team? Do you monitor everything they do?
Well, I'm a control freak, so I am the head of the team, yes, and I love it. So I mean, I do all the marketing and the planning, and I do that kind of thing. They do more of the kind of assisting on the work with the clients,
right.
And all the office work and doing showings and things like that. So it's really a team. I do lead the team, and I do the planning and do the marketing and that kind of thing. But it is a team approach. Would
that mean that you were actually like sitting down with the clients as well, or just too busy to do that?
No, if I was too busy to do that, I wouldn't do it. And I know that's the approach that some people take, is that the team leader gets the listings and then the team does all the work. But I really like it. So I do my own open houses, and people can't believe that. Why would you do the open house? Well, doing the open house is actually selling the house, right? So I do the open houses, I do negotiating, I do the plan for the marketing, but they execute the plan.
Right.
I'm not good with paper.
And then the open house brings you back to those days of yesteryear.
That's right. It takes me back to my childhood.
Oh, it's something in my hair for people. Now, it's a brand new year, and a lot of people are talking about the market potentially slowing down. Where do you see it for next year in 2008?
Okay, people. First of all, I haven't seen it slow down. People have been saying it's slowed. There was a momentary lull or a brief lull in November, and I think that was mostly the media because of what was happening in the U.S. market. And obviously, the U.S. market affects us, but Vancouver is a very unique market, and in particular, right now, what we have the same great interest rates everyone has, but we also have a fantastic economy. We have the Olympics coming up, so there's no shortage of jobs. So we've got a lot of people with a lot of money who can buy and sell, that kind of thing. And again, the interest rates that everyone can take advantage of. I think the market is going to be strong for the next couple of years, and that's not just my opinion. I try and keep up to date with what all of the economists are saying, because that's what they do. And it seems that the forecasts are that it'll be strong at least for the next 2-3 years minimum.
What about this year that we're in right now?
Oh, this year will be great. I mean, this year the forecasts are 6 to 10% from what I've been reading for increases. So, it's not going to be the 24% that we had last year, but 6 to 10%, that's pretty good when you're making money off somewhere that you probably have to live anyway.
Right, and no downward turn in sight.
No. And I mean, the thing is, if you look back to Vancouver, even since, as far back as since you and I were born, if you look back at what Vancouver's done, we've had a couple of downturns, but really it's a market that's on a sort of continual upswing because it's fantastic. And we still haven't reached the price levels that other major cities have reached, and we've got everything that you need, really.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It seems like, we talk a lot about first-time buyers here on the show, and it seems for those that haven't bought yet, I mean, the thought may come into their head, maybe I've missed the boat. I mean, is that potential?
No. I mean, I think people think that because the market has gone up so much in the last 3 to 5 years, right? I mean, it's just been ridiculous. But you still need a place to live, okay? The interest rates are extremely low. When I bought my first house to service $100,000, I think it was costing me $1,127 a month for a $100,000 loan. Well, now it's around $600.
Right.
So the prices have doubled, but the interest rates are half. Of what they were at that time. So, it doesn't balance out exactly. We do have an affordability issue in Vancouver, but, it still works for first-time buyers.
Yeah, because housing prices are so high, and I hear a lot of people say, oh, I should have got in like my parents did, or I should have got in back in the 80s when I had that chance, and now it's too late. I've priced myself out of the market, that type of thing.
No, and people have been saying that, unfortunately, for the last 5 years, and they've missed those increases. I have tenants in some of my properties. I mean, I'm still looking for property now myself. If I thought the prices were too high, I wouldn't be buying. I'd wait for a big crash or something. But I just think, why would you rent in Vancouver? Rents are high, mortgage rates are low. When my tenants pay me their rent, because I feel guilty taking it. I say, you're paying money out every month, you're putting it in the garbage. Like, they don't see anything for that money.
Yeah,
I'm picking it out of the garbage.
$1,800 a month.
Yeah, no, I know. And I take it out of the garbage and put it in my pocket. So I think still, as soon as someone can get out of the rental and into owning, it's just a no-brainer.
So with prices, I guess, reaching historic high levels, you would still recommend buying?
Yeah, we still have historic low mortgage rates. And we have amazing mortgage packages. You can buy something without putting a lot of money down.
And look where you're buying.
Yeah, it's paradise.
I've noticed in some of your marketing material the phrase, the possibilities are endless. Tell us a little bit about where that comes from.
That was something that I saw in a coffee cup. And it seems strange, but it was on a coffee cup, and I thought, wow, that is what I really believe about life. I mean, whatever area of my life, not just real estate. I believe that possibilities are endless. And since I've started selling real estate, I noticed that when we sit down with people, a lot of times they think, God, I can't make any money on this. I don't have enough money to buy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm never going to get into this market. And they're really frustrated. But when you sit down and look at the options, in real estate in particular, possibilities really are endless. So I've incorporated it into my marketing.
Well, obviously mathematics and statistics are used to gauge these things. You hear people saying, if I buy now, then I could face a crash, and when the crash comes, like they're talking like it's going to actually happen.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see that happening in the next little while at all?
No.
No. Just not.
And you know what? If it's your principal residence, you're really well insulated, I think, against that. For investors, there's a bit more risk, and that's always the case. That's what investors do. They take risks. But if you're buying a place to live, what's the downside? You can get a 10-year mortgage right now, lock in. You're going to be paying the same amount for 10 years. If there's a crash in the next 10 years, you don't need to sell it, right? You just hold on. And then when the market goes back up, you can sell. I mean, the place where people have problems is when there's a lot of investment and they are an investor.
Right.
Because investors are the ones that take the big hit when the market crashes because they've got to get out.
Right. Now, for those that are watching this at home and are fascinated by what you're saying and want to find out a little bit more, where can they get a hold of you, Patricia?
They can go to my website, which is www.vancouverviews.ca, or they can phone me at 604-376-SOLD, which is 7653. And we also have occasionally educational seminars we put on, so they can send me an email and we can put them on the list and give them some more information that way.
376 sold. I like it. Patricia Houlihan from McDonald Realty, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Take care.